Hello everyone, welcome to our world through English. So today we are going to continue the same part that we have started earlier, that is Oliver asked for more. So in that we have discussed that Oliver was brought to the children's home. After that Mr. Bumble asked him to appear before the board, and he was there and they asked him multiple questions about his name and about his orphan, and later they asked him to pray for regularly, and they will teach him education along with work. So that we have discussed in the previous session. So now today we are going to continue that, and we are going to see what is happening in the workhouse. So there are the 3 days meals and a small vessel, and with the onion twice a week. That was the food habit that they are having in the children's home, where Mr. Oliver was there. So let's go for continuation, page number 18. I'm going to read for you. That's for the first 6 months after Oliver Twist was moved in, the system was in full operation. As a result, during this period, the number of workhouse inmates got smaller, and the inmates themselves shrunk in size and became thinner. So now, in that situation, after 6 months, what happened in the workhouse means automatically, because the food what they are giving, of course they are giving morning, afternoon, dinner, evening, but how much they are giving, the quantity was very less. So by having a meal regularly, that congested means are not up to the mark how much they want, insufficient. They are not sufficient. It is not sufficient for them to eat thrice in a day. So they were not satisfied with the food. So now what happened there? Let us see here. By that food, after 6 months, everybody became weak, thinner, and got smaller and shrunk in size and became very thinner, very thinner. Means the food made them to become very weak. The room in which the boys were fed was a large stone hall, and with a copper bowl at one end, out of which the master, dressed in an apron for a purpose and assisted by one or two women, ladled the creel at mealtime. Of this festive composition, each boy had one basinful, and no more, except on occasions of great public rejoicing, when they had 2 ounces and had a quarter of bread besides. So what is the work? What is their food? What they are going to take regularly means every day 1 ounce means the vessel, and one spoon we can take 1 ounce. 1 spoon finish, they have to go. So no more extra, no more excess. If anyone asks excess, what will happen? Let us see that. And sometimes they will have some extra bonus. When the public rejoicing for national festivals, when the public were very happy with the products what they have made in the workhouse, then they will get some extra one, that is 2 ounces, means 2 spoons they will get, and along with that a quarter of bread they will get. So that is that food thing what they give, means they are not satisfied, and the food was not even sufficient for them. It is not even sufficient for the people who are staying in the workhouse. The basins never wanted washing. The boys polished them with their spoons till the shone again. So the basin never washed again, means never wanted washing, means it is not sufficient for them. So what they will do, they will clear everything. They will make the plate very clean. The basin was very clean, because they will eat completely like this. So there is no need to wash again this basins, because they were hunger. They were very hungry every day, morning same, afternoon same, dinner same. So they were not happy with the food. Not happy because the quantity what they're receiving, that was not sufficient for the people, the children who were staying in the home. So when they had performed this operation, they would sit staring at the copper ball with such eager eyes as if they could have devoured the big ball itself and everything in it. So now after eating that, they will look at the copper ball. Big ball will be there, no? Where they will take and they will put. So they will look at that. When I will have this much of food, when I will eat such a big vessel food, I'm starving. Even they are getting, it was not sufficient for them, so they were hungry even inside of the home. Along with that, they are getting work, but they are not getting sufficient food for their livelihood. Now, at the same time, they sucked their fingers most carefully to catch up the starry splashes of grill that might have stuck their own. So they will suck. They not even leave anything in their fingers also. They will eat like that. We can find some people. There you go. So they were eating like that because even small one they can make satisfied. So boys have generally excellent appetite. Oliver Twist and his companions suffered the tortures of slow starvation for 3 months, and at last they got so voracious and wild with hunger that one boy who was tall of his age and had not been used to that sort of thing, for his father had kept a small cook shop, hinted darkly to his companion that unless he had another basin of gruel per day, he was afraid he might have some night happen to eat the boy who slept next to him, who happened to be very weakly youth of tender age. He had a wild hunger eye, and had believed him. A council was held, lots were cast as to who should walk up to the master after supper that evening and ask for more, and it fell to Oliver Twist. Now, what happened? So nobody asks for more there in the home. What they receive, that is only the food. No one allowed to ask, I want one more, I want one more. So everybody, they got hunger. So after some days, they all become a good companions, good friends. Then they decided, every day we are not happy with the food what we are having. So we must do something. We must do something greater than that. So what we can do, how we can manage all these things. We are very stuffer. So one day they decided, yes, what? They have decided something. What they decided, we should ask. We should ask. Then who is the one who can ask that they want one more? They want one more. So at last they got so voracious and wild with hunger. So that one boy who was tall for his age had not been used to that sort of thing, and what he had hinted darkly to his companions that unless he had another basin of gruel per day, he was afraid he might some night happen to eat the boy who slept next to him. So what happened, and there was a tall boy and very strong boy, and he said, he's saying to the boys, every day I want one more basin. If not, I will eat somebody who sleeps beside of me. Who sleeps beside of me. He given a serious warning, and he was afraid he might some night happen to eat the boy who slept next to him, who happened to be very weakly youth of tender age. He had a wild hunger eye, and they believed him. A council was held, lots were cast as to who should walk up to the master after supper that evening and ask for more, and it fell to Oliver Twist. So what happened, when the tall boy asked that, I want. If no one gives me, then I will lead somebody who sleeps beside of me during this night. Then all they're looking at each other. Who will go to ask? 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 So one after one, finally it came to Oliver Twist. So now Oliver Twist has to go and to ask the master that he want one more basin. One more basin. So now the evening arrived. The boys took their places. The master in his cook's uniform stationed himself at the copper. His assistants ranged themselves behind him, and the grill was served out. The grill disappeared, and the boys whispered to each other and winked at Oliver, while his next neighbors nudged him. Child as he was desperate with hunger and reckless with misery. He rose from the table and advancing to the master, basin and spoon in hand, said, somewhat alarmed at his own courage. So now what happened? Everybody finished. Then all were looking at Oliver. Winking means like this. I can't do like this. Winking. Go. So there was some sight to go. So Oliver Twist has no other option. So he got up. He was going near to the master, who is having an afro and having spoon in his hand and the copper bowl standing there along with assistants. He was slowly moving with his basin, and he went near to the master and he said something. What he said? Please, sir, I want some more. What he said? Please, sir, I want some more. The master was fat, healthy man, but he turned very pale. He gazed in stupefied astonishment on the small rebel for some seconds, and then clung for support to the copper. The assistants were paralyzed with wonder, the boys with fear. So now the situation. The boys became very thin, and the man was very fat, very strong. And he was like this. When he was there, Oliver came, please, sir, I want one more. Then he was surprised. Huh? He was very surprised, astonished. And immediately the girls who were beside of the women who were beside of the man were surprised, paralyzed. Huh? They were stuck. They were paralyzed. And the assistants were paralyzed with wonder. And the boys were fearing with fear. Oh, what will happen? The boys were worrying. And the woman was, and the man was, hey. So three expressions we can see here. The man was very wonder and astonished. And the woman was, The boys were, So three different expressions we can see in the scene. So man was astonished. And the boy was a rebel, sir. And the small children who were there were fear, and the woman was paralyzed, stuck. So the scene. Next, what? Said the master at length in a faint voice. Please, sir, replied Oliver, I want some more. So now he said, hey, what? Then you, sir, please, I want one more. So Oliver requesting, sir, please, I want one more. The master aimed a blow at Oliver's head with the ladle and shrieked aloud for the beadle. Then immediately what happened, he immediately he took a spoon and hit on his head and said, call the beadle, means the church official. Beadle means we can see the first one. So immediately call him. Then immediately he came, and the board was sitting. The board was sitting in a solemn, means very important meeting, very urgent meeting, very sudden meeting was happened in the committee. And the board was there. Mr. Bumble rushed into the room in a great excitement and addressing the gentleman in the high chair. Mr. Limpkins, I beg your pardon, sir. Oliver Twist has asked for more. Then immediately what happened, Then Mr. Bumble came very rushed to the committee hall and said, excuse me, sir, and he bowed for this gentleman who were in the court, means the chair on the board, means a group of chairs members. Mr. Limpkin, sir, I beg your pardon, means sorry for interrupting you. I beg your pardon, sorry for interrupting in the middle. Oliver Twist asked for more. Oliver Twist asked for more. There was a general start. Horror was displayed on every continent. For more, said Mr. Limpkins. Compose yourself, Bumble, and answer me distinctly. Do I understand that he asked for more after he had eaten the supper allotted by the board? Then immediately said, hey Bumble, are you sure? After even he had his meal, which was provided by the board, even he asked for more? He did, sir, replied Bumble. Yes, sir, he asked even after he had his supper, he had his meal which was provided the bird, he asked for more. He said, the boy will be hung. That boy should be hung. We have to kill him immediately. The boy will be hung, said the gentleman in the white waistcoat. I know that boy will be hung. So that was a punishment. Who crosses the word, who talks against the board word, they should be hung. Then immediately they said, hey, we have to hang this boy. We have to hang. The boy will be hung. White coast man said, means a man who is having blazer said that we have to hang the boy. Nobody contradicted the prophetic gentleman's opinion. So nobody said no for the words of the gentleman. An excited discussion took place. Oliver was ordered into instant confinement. Instant confinement is putting in the jail or closing room. And a bill was next morning pasted on the outside of the gate, offering a reward of £5 to anybody who would take Oliver Twist off the hands of the parish. In other words, £5 and Oliver Twist were offered to any man or woman who want an apprentice or to any trade, business or calling. So now he was inside the room. He was inside the room, and outside they pasted a notice, that is a man for sale, like a man for sale. They posted a notice that is who can take, anyone can take £5, Oliver Twist and £5. And after that they written, a skilled man who knows all the works is for sale, £5, you can take the man. So here they are selling man, a boy, they are selling a boy. So that is the end of the story, which was written by Charles Dickens and his Oliver Twist. So it is just a part. After that we have seen a beautiful story which goes on with Oliver Twist, and when he was out of the church and he will go out, and later he will have a lot of things that we can see in the movie also. You can Google it, or you can YouTube, you can go on YouTube and you can search Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Then you can see a beautiful movie of nearly 1.5 hour length. You can watch and you can enjoy the beautiful scenes which was designed, narrated by Charles Dickens. That is the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed. Let us go for the grammar part which was mentioned in this lesson. Page number, I'm going for the yes or no questions. Yes or no questions I'm going to teach you. Let's look at that.